In this video, I'm going to talk about another really important topic, and that is the top 4 reasons why raw feeding Facebook groups are bad. And really quick, in the comments below, as usual, let me know what you have heard about this subject. Have you ever had or heard about a bad experience in a raw feeding Facebook group? Let me first start off by saying that I don't necessarily think that raw feeding Facebook groups are bad. In fact, I absolutely don't think that they are bad. I just think that there are some negative things that you need to know about so that you can avoid them. Number 1, you never know who you're talking to. What do I mean by that? I basically mean that you have no idea who the person is that you're talking to. Yeah, you see a picture. Yeah, you see a name, but do they know what they're talking about? How long have they been raw feeding? Did they learn about it yesterday? You just don't know. Number 2, inconsistent information. What do I mean by that? I mean that in a lot of these groups, in fact all of them, including mine, Raw Feeding 101, you can ask one question and get 10 different answers to the same question, and everyone thinks that they're right. And this can really lead to a lot of confusion and frustration. Number 3, unnecessary and unwarranted attacks. In a lot of the larger raw feeding groups, you tend to have a lot of unnecessary attacks. And what I mean by that is someone asking a question and receiving a lot of negative feedback. Someone saying, "You should know this already. Why didn't you do your research better? What is wrong with you? You obviously have no idea what you're talking about. Are you seriously asking that question?" It's just unnecessary. If someone is in a group like that and they're trying to learn about raw feeding because they want to do better by their pet, why do they deserve any of that negative feedback? That is the exact reason why my raw feeding Facebook group has a 0 tolerance policy for that kind of thing. Number 4, uninformed transitions to a raw diet. When I say an uninformed transition, I mean somebody that got really excited and really inspired and just wanted to dive head first, that they didn't get the proper education before they transitioned their dog onto a raw diet. The reason that this is bad is because you can't just start. This came up because I actually saw a couple of days ago, and I won't name any names because it's not their fault at all. I saw somebody that had made an uninformed transition. What I would guess by looking at the situation is that they did this. They came in, they got really excited, they saw some pictures of awesome, beautiful looking bowls full of great fresh food, and was like, I'm gonna do that. This is why that's a bad thing. The reason that's a bad thing is because you can't just start. I mean, you can just start, but you have to start in the proper order and introduce things in the proper order. And what I mean by the proper order is you need to feed this, and then X amount of time down the road, you need to add this, and so on and so forth. This is absolutely critical when it comes to making a proper transition, because if you don't do it this way, you run into a lot of problems. One of the problems that you'll run into most likely if you do it improperly is cannon butt, basically explosive diarrhea, or the exact opposite, extreme constipation. Both of which are obviously bad. Not just for the dog, but for the dog owner as well, who gets to clean up those situations. So there you go. 4 of the bad things about raw feeding Facebook groups. You never know who you're talking to. You get inconsistent information and get confused and frustrated. Often you will receive unnecessary and unwarranted attacks and negative feedback. And all too often, well-meaning people will make uninformed action and not take the proper steps to changing their dog over to a raw diet. And in that situation, everyone loses. So there you go, guys. There's the video. That was the top 4 reasons why raw feeding groups are bad. If you liked what you saw, please click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon so that you don't miss the next video, which is going to be the top 4 reasons why raw feeding Facebook groups are good. And while you're at it, if you just want to start talking to people that are feeding raw, maybe ask some questions in a zero judgment environment, then find us on Facebook, Raw Feeding 101-Learn to Feed Raw. ask questions, post pictures, just lurk from the background, whatever it is that you want to do, just come over there, join us, and start learning about raw feeding. And remember, you don't need to be perfect to be an amazing dog owner. You just need to do your best every day and try to improve as you go forward. Peace.